Hey guys, here we are in Character Creator 4. I'm going to be doing something kind of cool, making a character essentially from scratch based on some AI photos that I took. So I'll tell you all about that process later, but thanks to Simon Jagway for the idea. But I'm just going to come into here into Headshot 2. Hopefully if you have this plug-in. If not, well, this isn't going to be the easiest thing for you to follow along with, but that's okay. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our desktop, and this is an easy way of doing it. And we're going to drag in an image of a guy right here onto this area. We drag that in and this dialog box pops up. It's going to be a male. Let's go with old for our skin type. And we'll just say generate. It's that easy. You're done. I am kidding. So now it's going to analyze the image, and using 50 different things, probably AI included, it's going to determine what our character's head shape and style and all the good junk is. And it's going to try and essentially make a texture and sculpture out of that facial image. So here's that guy, and now it's starting to update everything. It loaded the base avatar. It's now generating the mesh and applying the photo. Yes, I called it old dude. And after a few minutes, we get this result. So if we look, the coloring matches pretty good, pretty amazingly good actually, and everything is looking pretty great. It's that simple. You can stop here if you want, but we're going to go farther. We can adjust the sculpt morphs of the face if we want to by turning this on. We can come in here and make it wider or thinner or whatever we want to do. And we can make that even more detailed of the face by coming in here, and you just drag these and slide them around like you're sculpting. You can see. So a little bit skinnier maybe in the cheek area, and it updates. So I'm pretty happy with what we've got here though, because it pretty much followed the photograph. So I'm going to turn that back off, and you can go more detailed, like specifically in the lips or specifically the eye areas or whatever, and it'll give you much more detail to adjust that stuff around. I think we're okay for the moment. I'm going to scroll down here. We can adjust the image matching tools. I think we can leave this alone. It's pretty darn close, but you could adjust your colors and the type of skin it is, the skin color, etc., etc. And all right, cool. So I'm just going to close out of that one, and now I want to go into Skin Gen and start adding some details and modifications to this guy. So now you can tell his body type is a little too young male, and that's pretty easy to fix. There's a few things we can do. I'm going to personally go into our morphs here and into, this is specifically headshot, but we want to go into our body morphs here and just find a real quick old body or something by clicking up here and typing in old. We can go body old, and look what happens. Bam. And then we can go here, body old male. We can go fat, but I'm just going to leave this here at body old. That's an overall. We can also look for some others. Just kind of start scrolling down, and we can make him thinner, which I think that's a good idea. We can scroll down some more. There's the old one, and we can make him muscular or not. We can make him a bodybuilder, give him more body tone. I think that's okay for an older guy. Keep going, keep going, keep going. This is for all the female stuff. There's male thin, which can make him even skinnier if you want to. It's a little much probably. Male heavy. There's another old, but these are cartoony styles stuff, and so we're going to keep going and just see if there's anything else we can use. Nope, that looks all good there. And then you can go obviously part by part if you want. Our base meshes are, right here. but these are the separate pieces, if you will, like, so I can go into chest and, you know, adjust all of this stuff as much as possible. So now I'm gonna come down a little bit more, see if there's something else we can use here. I think that's okay for the moment. We may come back in here and do some other changes, but I want to go into the skin gen for one. One big thing though we need to do to start with is ensure this guy has his expression wrinkles, and that was something new, I think, when version 4 or a little bit later came out, the original version 4. But right here we just click on expression wrinkles and activate them, and now when he makes expressions, his forehead wrinkles will come up, his nasolabials, if they're in the right place, will all appear in the right place, and they will be more extreme instead of just being a standard expression. It'll actually have wrinkles when you click on them. So I don't want to make sure, I don't necessarily want him to go into this, but you can see that when I click on certain areas, he will get those expression wrinkles, and they look pretty fantastic. And these can all be, you know, strengthened and lessened and whatever they need to be to work. So we're going to turn off these expressions here, check with expressions, and I want to zero out his face, and then you click over here into neutral expression and it'll bring everything back. Alright, so now a few other things. Let's go into Skin Gen that I keep promising to do and not doing. We're going to go to our content folder, and we're going to scroll down to skin, or you can click the skin button right here. And we're just going to look here at the skin. Let's look at normal effects, because this is going to give us some general stuff that you can use here. So I'm going to pick a few things like his neck. We're going to throw a little neck layer on here. It's going to activate Skin Gen and go through this. And it'll do this as it's loading up your Skin Gen session, and then it'll do that again after it's coming out. So bear with it. It takes a little bit to do that, but you can do a bunch of cool stuff once you get in there. So now that we're in, I'm going to double click this neck wrinkle. I think we already applied it. I'm going to double check by going over here to modify. Right here is your appearance tab and your Skin Gen. You can see here the neck wrinkle is there. Why don't we have any settings here? Well, we click on it, and then those settings will pop up, and you can adjust the opacity of those neck wrinkles. You can see them coming up. The scale, width, the strength of your, well, this is the base color. We don't really necessarily need to do that, but the normals are very important. You can see that they have a great effect on it. So back over, just click on the content folder and start looking for other cool stuff like skin type of wrinkles here. Like, let's just pick something a bit extreme. This one looks pretty good. We'll just add it. We don't want to replace someone that's already there. We want to add to it. And you're supposed to only be able to do up to 15, but if you have a good graphics card, you can do a lot more. So there we go. And I'm just going to keep adding and adding things. The eyelids look pretty good. I don't want to overwrite anything necessarily. And I don't want to screw with the forehead too much, because we do have those other morph wrinkles that come into place. So I'm going to say add, just to give them a little, and if you watch, those are added into it instead of are written over. So I'm going to add this one to the top of the one we just did, and those right here should stay. And see, those are all added in together. So you can do that if we want to. That looks fine. There's some lips here. Let's see if we throw on this one, how much better or worse we're going to get down here. I don't really see much of a difference. It's fine. We can remove them if we want. Let's throw in some neck wrinkles. We're going to add instead of overwrite, of course. And those will appear. And now I kind of want to add in one of these facial wrinkle sort of sets. Let's just go ahead and do this entire face wrinkle and see if it looks good. It's a Gandalf, it looks like. Ian McKellen there. And I think that one's okay. Looks fine to me. You can always go over here to modify again. Pick that facial wrinkle application here. You can change the normals kind of be affected. The broader wrinkles, now you can go in, you can change your normal strength as well. And that was specifically for the head, because you have drop downs here for every other body part that you would like to apply any of this stuff to. And I'm just going to scroll and see what else. There's some vascular, like, yeah, let's give the guy some veins. Why not? Just add those in. They'll probably see those mostly in the neck here, maybe a little in the head. And you can adjust how much those are pronounced as well by going back into modify. And it looks like, let's make sure they're here. Yeah, so you can see these in the neck here now. Some of it there. Cool. I'm going to give him an old body now. So he's got this thinner body, but it's still not very aged looking. So I'm going to scroll down until we find something. And this is a particular pack you can get, by the way. Let's go to this Sinew Heavy and just see how gross we can get him. Not that old people are gross. I'm an old people. But let's find out here how stringy. Yeah, that's pretty good. And you can add these on top of each other. You don't want to get too many things on top of each other because then they start to get a little over the top. But let's add some vascularity here because this guy needs some veins. He needs to look like maybe it's got a little bit high blood pressure. Or that he works out, which obviously may not be the case here. And you can see that happening right here. Very nicely done. I think we give him a medium noise pattern onto his skin, or maybe even a light, because I just want to be able to see some texture to the skin once, you know, the light hits across it or what have you. And if we move in here, we can see, yeah, that's got a nice human skin. Now you see this angle stuff happening here? That's a real simple fix. We jump back over to modify. We're gonna have to get out of our skin gen session though. Let's just wait. I'm gonna show you how to fix that in a second. So I don't want to jump in a skin gen yet because that has to process all these every time we do it. So let's just go back to modify. Let's get some skin textures on the face and stuff first, and then we'll jump out of that. Let's go to, I'm just gonna pick this rougher one here. Double click, add that one. Like I said, your only limit is your video card. So if you get the warning's okay as long as it doesn't slow down so much that you can't actually use it, but I think we're looking pretty good here. I'm going to go down until we get to some of this. So this, we've got some facial fine wrinkles. Let's just apply them and see if they look okay. I don't want anything overriding or mixing this up too much. And you see how that sort of lit up? I don't like that. We're going to undo it. It's kind of blurry almost now. We want to get these, there we go, nice creases back. I'm going to add some of this nose bump because I believe that one will go without messing something up that's already there. We'll just look and yeah, that looks fantastic now. And now we need this body skin texture. There is a little bit already on there, but let's add some medium. And see, this is that warning. You can, you know, if you have more than 15 layers, it's going to slow it down. Well, mine won't, but yours may. So we're going to go ahead and say yes. And you can add all kinds of things. Tattoos, blemishes, acne, all kinds of crazy stuff. So that looks good. Let's go down to skin details and see what we got here. This dull skin stuff is really great. So I'm going to scroll down until I find it. Ooh, look, there's some old feet and hands. Let's go ahead and add foot details. And that's going to add a decal for the feet to where they're going to be more realistic. We got some veins and stuff happening through there. Let's scroll back up here. And you look, this particular hand here, it looks okay, but not fantastic. But this older hand detail we're going to throw in. Just watch this hand change right there. Boom. That is significant. That is an amazing difference. Okay, so we'll scroll down here again. There's some of this skin noise. I really like this skin noise stuff. So this is a darker version, a lighter version. Let's use the darker version. Add that in. You're going to see his body skin kind of get a little bit of a breakup. It's just more natural. There we go. And so this dull skin, we have these different dull skin. The dull skin on the eyes is really nice. You'll see, because as this has been created, it just still has this weird kind of, not shine, but it's almost too bright. And we put this in and it starts to drop that down. There we go. Much, much better. You can go on dull skin legs. Let's do that. That's for the calves or the shins. We're gonna do it also on the thighs. I'm just gonna do it without even looking at it because I know it's good. Cool. So now we have much more natural looking body and whatnot so far, and we're gonna add some hemoglobin here, the male version, to the skin, and that's also going to get us a kind of breakup of the face color there. Now it's a lot better. Very nice. And we're going to do just dull skin on the back, and it's just kind of breaking up you know, that coloring, because without it, it just looks a bit flat. There's some dull skin for the chest. We're going to throw that, and you'll see this happen here, and it's just a nicer look in general. There's some dull skin for the clavicle. Let's see what it looks like. We'll add that one in. That'll happen right around here. All right, so now we'll scroll down. The clavicle happens right about there. Let's do uneven on the forehead possibly, and see what that does for us. It just breaks up any smoothness that may be, you know, not part of your texture, and it kind of helps blend all this together, which looks fantastic in my opinion. Let's throw in some capillaries in the cheek here. Let's go with the darker ones. I think that's going to look a little more pronounced and probably better overall. We'll just click add, and they'll happen right in there. Very nice. You can increase over here and modify. In your skin gen, you just click on the capillary cheeks, and now we can increase the opacity of those, and you'll see that they're a lot more pronounced, which I like for older people. I believe here we can scroll down here and find the normal, and that's the blurring. The normal strength we can bring up to where those capillaries will have a little bit of bump to them now. Go back to content and just keep looking for stuff. There's stuff we really don't need, like all of this necessarily, but the roughness I like because it gives you kind of a T-zone that's a little bit more oily. So let's just go ahead and add that in as a final thing for the face. And we'll just come down here, and you can see it's got a little more shine across the nose and forehead there, which is nice. And that's it for that. So we can add in blemishes, moles, all kinds of stuff, which we will. Let's add these age spots here. They're the darker. And you'll see them appear right there on the head. Some body old freckles. Let's go ahead and do it because that's crunchy. And we'll just keep adding some stuff. Now, this will all bake down to one set of textures. So I think we should add some old face freckles. Add those. We'll add these hand freckles as well, probably. So it just gives them a little more interesting life. Let's see here what we need. Yeah, right here we'll just do hand. We'll add, and you'll be able to see this sort of in the arm and the hand. They're kind of light. So body moles more. Let's add some more body moles. That's what I said. Body moles, and you'll see those sort of appear throughout. And there's some larger ones you could throw on here. I think those are the larger ones. These are the smaller ones here. And so we have a few more of those. You can add acne scars, all kinds of stuff. Suntan, sunburns, and so on and so on and so on. So let's go to acquired. This is where you have like things like dirt, tattoos. I don't think we'll give him any dirt just yet. I want to be able to pick and choose this later. Scars, tattoos, and you can bring in a bunch of your own stuff too. There are ways of doing that. Blood, of course. You can add a baby. No, I'm kidding. That's just the snot. You can add baby snot. So body hair, let's go ahead and give him a little bit, I suppose. Probably, let's just go with full. We just double click. It's gonna give him right through his chest, and I think arms and everything on this one because it's a body. It's the full body version. Right, so there's the body hair, which you can, I believe, change the color of later. And we can go up here to our face. It probably needs a little bit of, probably just some light stubble. So let's just go here, double click this one. We'll add this in. It'll just give them a little bit of more interest. There we go. A little more realism. You can change the color of all this stuff. So we'll just scroll down, see what else is going on. We've got all that. We've got all that. And I think those are good. So the nails is the last thing I'm going to mess with. We're just going to add these aged nails to him, since his nails are standard nails right now. And then that should be it for this particular dude. We're going to come out of the skin gen section real quick here. So we just go to modify. We can change all this stuff if we want to, but just click on beard. I think you can change the color here, which we would want to do. So right here, color. Let's make that pretty white. Not pretty and white, but just, you know, quite white. I'm gonna say okay, and then zoom in and kind of look where this, what's his beard, what does his beard look like? So we have this sort of wider look. And let's go to our body hair. Oh, it's gonna be in body, no doubt. So once we get there, we can click on body hair. This looks like we got double hair. I'm gonna scroll down until we get to color. We're gonna make that pretty white itself. Let's just kind of zoom out and see. Let's say okay and zoom out. See what that's looking like. Basically, you would go through and do this for all the hair. I'm not a big fan of his leg here, to be honest, but we're gonna probably be covering that up mostly. So I'm not really horribly worried about that. So now that we've got our wrinkles and our skin and all that, I'm gonna go ahead and deactivate the skin gen editor, which this will take a moment to come back out of it. Now we can go into hair, and I have a bunch of custom stuff too, but let's just see what's going on here in hair. So we have all these presets, beards. I think I'm not gonna do a beard because I kind of want to see this guy's face. It's kind of cool and old. Let's give him some brows though, something a little bit maybe like this. So I'm gonna double click. These will actually apply a hair brow. Let's zoom in here and kind of take a look here. It's not horrible. Maybe a little more like this, or maybe this one. Let's just double click it. It'll replace the one that's already there. Yeah, that one actually looks pretty good. And let's just throw on, I'm gonna click him instead. This hair just to see what it looks like. It's probably gonna be a little too sporty. Obviously we can change the color, but I think that's a little too government official for him. I'm just going to scroll down until we see something, and if not, then we can check in my custom stuff. Bunch of beards, some more hair. There was one that I knew was like workable. We can try over in my custom stuff. All available from the Reallusion website and marketplace and so forth. This one would probably work really well. It's a male pattern baldness hair. Yeah, that's perfect for him. Excellent. And find something somewhat fitting. Let's just pick this to start with. It's not horrible. And maybe some pants. Wish I had some more baggier stuff in here. Let's go ahead and just pick some standard pants just to get him in something. These are all too stylish for this gentleman. Let's just try these. Even though they're jeans, they're going to be, you know, the color change and stuff. And let's pick some shoes. See if we got any kind of old man shoes. We can actually click on the shoe button here and see more specifically shoes. And probably something like maybe those for now, just to give him something. All this can change, all the colors can change. I like to make all of my clothes, well, not all of them, but a lot of my clothes custom using Clo3D or Marvelous Designer. And let's give the guy a test run. We've got him here. Those are some seriously skinny jeans for an old guy. Let's find out if we've got some better pants real quick. In my custom folder, I've got 400,000 things, but these are not realistic ones, although they will probably work. Let's go ahead and just kind of scroll, see if I have something that's a little more old manish. I mean, these are great, but they're shorts. I'm gonna have to get me some more content. All right, let's try these pants here, even though they're cartoony. And let's go ahead to our scene and delete the other pants. That works fine. So now one thing you'll need to do is come here into the Modify tab, into this first tab here, and find where we can adjust the layering. We're going to need to select in the scene probably our pants. We go back to Modify, and now we're going to find the Conform button and select it. This will bring up the collisions and all this, but I think basically we just need to calculate collision first. It sort of works. We can do it again and see if that helps. If not, we're going to scroll all the way down here to cloth layer settings and click that. And what's going to happen here is going to give us an order. So pants are first, the sneakers are next, and those should be underneath the pants. We're going to pull those down. Then the layered sweater is above the pants. But that's a problem because, of course, that's going to be coming through. So this is going to have to be mesh edited. So anyway, we're going to run a collision here, and that should start to work. If it doesn't fix it completely, you run it again, and it will start to correct and correct and correct. A little less each time. But I'm thinking this layered sweater might have an issue, maybe even of its own, because this is looks like two things mixed together. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. I'm going to spin around and look and see what's going on with all that. And it looks like this shirt's trying to sort of share the load with the sweater. So there's one fix for that. Go back to Conform, switch that off. We're going to go here and edit the mesh. Now this seems a little scary to some of you, but this is not. It's actually pretty simple. Click Edit Mesh, make sure that the mesh you want to edit is selected. Alright, so we're going to start pulling on some vertices here. And hopefully it'll work, because this is kind of weirdly set up. You can see that my mouse, everywhere I hover, there's a little point that's being highlighted, given what I'm hovering over. I'm going to go to Soft Selection, and that allows me to select a bigger, broader area. So if I select this point here, you can see it's going to select that whole area. You can adjust the radius, how much you select, which we'll need to do. And I'm going to see if there's a way I can select, say, this point here, and just move it back. And you can go over here with your Move tool now, and globally or locally, but just grab one of these planes here, and you can shift this stuff kind of back together. You can see, select this one, move to your Move tool, drag that plane just to kind of get this sort of back underneath where it's supposed to go. Okay, good enough. There we go. So he's got his shirt hidden now, and we can go back out of this Edit Mesh tool. There's a little bit there still, but not a biggie. Okay, cool. There he is. There is our dude ready to boogie, and looks like a kind of 70s dude from way back. Let's just go here. Let's see, what else could we do? Everything's pretty much done for him. We will want to save him off at some point, but let's go ahead and take him and add a male posing animation to him. Just check how he is all together. Now remember, folks, this all came from an image, an AI image that I generated in Midjourney for his face. And you're like, yeah, but what can his face do? Well, let's find out. Let's just go here and do a range of emotions. Now that we've got his wrinkles on and everything, we're going to go to a close-up here. And we'll check out the range of his expressions and wrinkles. And here we go. And remember, this was all generated, as far as his skin and his sculpture, from a single AI image of someone that doesn't even exist. And we can go in and adjust all these expressions to where he doesn't do an overbite, his lips don't penetrate, things like that. We can give him old man teeth, which is something we should probably do next. So let's go back. We're gonna go to where I can see his... Oh, and this is something else we talked about. When you zoom in, you can see this head has got... It's almost like got planes instead of being smooth. Over here in the Modify tab in the first section there, you just click on Smooth Mesh, and it will smooth that mesh out. You can test the... or change the level of that and everything. So now we're going to go and we're going to adjust his teeth. So we're going to close up skin over here in our content tab. Clothing, we're going to go to actor, and you'll have teeth. And this is going to be all the stuff that is, let's go back to the template version. All the stuff that you're going to have already included, or with certain packs you've bought possibly that isn't custom added. I'm just going to scroll down here until we get something like male old teeth, and just use those right there. They look a little bit like mine, and we're going to replace those. And now to be able to see what we've done, there's a tab to show the mouth open. I believe it's on Modify, straight here, and right here you can just open the mouth, and now we can see the teeth being in there, looking very real. Cool. So let's go ahead and close that up. Just look at him one more time going through this animation. All right. Now we're going to bring him into iClone and check out what he can do over there as well. Obviously, we need to adjust some of his expressions. So to adjust his expressions, we're going to go into our facial profile editor. Just click right here, click on Edit Expressions. And that with some time will change into this mode. I'm using CC4 Extended as opposed to the CC4 or CC3 Basic or Plus. That will depend on what you're working on. Let's just remove all of our animations here. And now we can come in through here and adjust any of our facial expressions. You can see when you click on these, that looks okay. And you can check all of these to make sure that they look good or move as much as you want them to. Just like the mouth is going to be one of the biggest ones, and the eyelids. So we're going to go to eye blink. Make sure the eyes blink all the way and the way you'd like them to. I'm not a fan of these textures right here. Okay, so that's okay. The eyelids, so we can squint, looks pretty good. The wideness looks pretty good. Then we got an eye look, and we're testing these to make sure that the eyeballs and stuff don't penetrate the eyelids. Everything looks good, especially like looking up and down, just to make sure that they look pretty natural and standard. The mouth is where you have most of your problems. You can see we can update all these using our new plugin, ZBrush Face Tools. So let's check this out. We're just checking these right now to make sure they look good. Nose tip left looks good. All those are fine. And then now, like I said, the mouth stuff is really where it's going to matter. Some of these will show teeth. Some of these will press the lips together too much. This seems to be okay, everything. What I'm worried more about is that. It's a little much for my taste. You can see that texture is a little bit weird there. And this mouth blend. a little odd. I think that's, I don't know if it's a texture issue, probably. But I think, yeah, overall, it's okay. Let's check the jaw. That's fine. Yeah, see, this needs a mask around the mouth a little bit, is what that is. So we just go back here into the, I'm gonna click out of Edit Expressions. We're gonna go back into our headshot, and we're gonna give him possibly a small mouth mask to minimize this weirdness on the lips. And it's very simple. We just go back to modify. We make sure his eyes are open here. Not sure why they're closed. Did I leave that way? Hopefully not. Oh, that's because we have that animation on. We're just going to remove all the animation. He'll come back to normal. And then we go to our headshot 2 again. And we're going to come down here to where we have some masking. So right now we've got no masks. The mouth and nostril mask, we're going to use mouth and nostril. And just watch right here when I click update. This should fix that little problem, I think. And applies a mask that gets rid of the edges of the skin texture we've used, or the image we used for the skin texture. Alright, now you can see that's a little better around there. Alright, we've got that updated, looks a little better like this. I'm just going to go ahead out of here, and now we're going to save our guy off into our content folder. So when we go to custom content, we just go up to characters. I'm going to go to the folder, or the heading here, the drop down that I know we need it in. I'm just going to leave it here under character for now, and I'm just going to save this as Bernie. So B-E-R-N-I-E, and that's all there is to it. He saves off, and we have a new character. In the next video, we'll be here in Character Creator again, and we'll probably bring him into ZBrush using face tools and do some more cool work with him. But that's how you get a basic character from an AI image and make him really cool. All right, have a good day, folks.